On this week's Flames Central, preseason camp is underway for Liberty football, and we put the Flames on the hot seat.
Plus, we bring you the story of a former Liberty softball standout who's now making the most of a pro opportunity. It's all coming your way right now on Flames Central.
Football teams have begun taking the field all over this great country, and the Liberty Flames are no different. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Flames Central. He's Rhett, I'm Matt, and Emily Austin will join us in just a moment.
Yeah, hard to believe that the end of summer is already in sight. And while that's pretty sad, the great news is that fall camp is underway for the Flames, and they hit the practice field on Friday.
Yeah, they sure did. And when the Flames are on the practice field, our Emily Austin is right there with them. She joins us now with more on how Hugh Freeze is trying to set the tone for a successful 2022 campaign.
Yes, fall camp has kicked off for the Flames. But before we get into all that X's and O's talk, the quarterback battle that's about to happen this season, and all those transfers who should make an immediate impact, we have to highlight a new program that's going on this season. It's called the Culture Council. Recently, head coach Hugh Freeze held a dinner meeting at his house with a select group of players. There's a representative from each position group that he's asking to lead this team. It's the first time Coach Freeze has ever put together something like this. It's an open door policy, player-led approach where he's allowing these leaders to speak up about issues or topics within the locker room and model the culture of Flames football.
Times have changed since this is going to be my 30th season coaching. And now it's really transitioned into, if we don't have, the quality leadership in the locker room, I do think if a team can truly be a team in the locker room, your advantage on Saturdays is exponential. Look, every team's going to have the same battles. Every team's going to go through fall camp. Every team's going to have hard days. Every team's going to have some lack of success at some point for the most part. And how you handle those moments is critical because you are the leadership of this team. And the best teams I've ever been on, and I believe this, is when you really care more about the other guy. And that's why you're here tonight, because I value your opinion. I'm going to need you in leading this team this year. Wins, losses, whatever it is. Let's handle it all. Get bowl eligible and go win another ring.
That's the goal for this team this season, is to win a fourth straight bowl game. And when you look at this schedule with 4 Power 5 opponents, it won't be easy. And Coach Freeze is honest with his players about that. So he's hoping that this Culture Council will help them succeed past those tough opponents. Liberty's first practice with full pads is set for Thursday, August 11th. So be sure to keep it locked right here for more on Flames Fall Camp.
One thing I really love that the coaching staff is doing is giving the players ownership. They're giving them stock in the program, and anytime you feel like you have that much more invested, you're going to also put in that much more work.
Yeah, and as Emily touched on, we're going to have reports from camp all fall long, including a quarterback battle. We don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be for the Flames this season, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out as we make our way towards the beginning of the season.
That's going to be a lot of fun. We've known Malik Willis for the last couple seasons. All eyes are going to be on QB1 this year for the Flames. All right, hey, sticking with some Liberty football, some Flames are getting some preseason recognition. Demario Douglas, for the second year in a row, has been named to the Paul Hornung Award watch list. This award is given to the most versatile player in college football. Demario is one of 52 athletes named to the watch list. Last season, he finished as LU's top receiver with 52 receptions for 701 yards and 6 touchdowns. He also returned a punt for a touchdown and averaged just under 7 yards per punt return. The man they call Pop is going to be one to keep an eye on this year. Veteran long snapper Austin Mock is also drawing national attention and has been named to the Patrick Manley Award watch list. This award is given to college football's top long snapper. This is the second year in a row that Mock has been named to the watch list. Mock has been the starting long snapper for each of the past 4 seasons, which included a string of 49 consecutive games. Now be sure to get out and watch these guys play. Season ticket demand is at an all-time high, with the Flames having their best home schedule in program history. Go to lufootball.com today to purchase your season tickets. And hey, while you're at it, check out the cabanas for the season. They are a great way to enjoy an LU football game.
Yeah, and as camp begins across the country, one of the most important things on the mind of every coach is keeping his team healthy, avoiding injuries before the season even begins. And concussions are certainly something they'd like to avoid, which is why Liberty University's School of Engineering is working hard to design safer helmets that make use of God's design. The most advanced designs on Earth can be found in nature. Great sources of power and inspiration. And the intricacies of God's design is a subject of close study for Dr. Horstemeyer and his team at Liberty University's School of Engineering. As they embark on their next endeavor.
We want to mitigate the shock wave. We want to trap the momentum to go a different way to save the brain.
Horstemeyer and his team have been part of the NFL Helmet Challenge, a competition that seeks to make the sport safer for athletes.
Football helmets from 1930 on were just to protect from skull fracture and death. It wasn't concussions, and if you look at the data and the statistics and the research done over the years, concussions have still remained the same. Our helmet's the first one that has focused on reducing concussions.
They are taking clues from creation to protect football players from the forces of impact.
We have a notion here called creationeering. We even trademarked the term creationeering. And the idea is you go from science to engineering. So what we did with the football helmet in science, we studied rams hitting each other. And we tried to understand how God engineered these kind of things and what were his design attributes in that.
And the ram is just the beginning of the list.
We studied woodpeckers. I looked at turtle shells. I looked at armadillo shells. I looked at seashells. I looked at all these animals that God designed something. He engineered it to protect them. I started looking at all of them, and he started giving revelation. Proverbs 8:12 says, he gives knowledge for witty inventions. The revelation still comes whether it's information-related science or information related to creating things, engineering.
But how exactly does this research apply to a football helmet?
In taking the science and understanding how these animals resisted impact, one could first consider the ram, and that's what we did. The rams hitting each other. There's energy, and that energy goes into the horn as well as into the head. And if you watch the wave comes in first, it hits as a compression wave, but as it goes around the Fibonacci sequence of the horn, it transfers it into shearing, a shear wave. So what happens at the end, it wiggles out. It wiggles out the energy, and we've published journal articles on this. Just recently, I did this calculation. I believe football helmets can be made that there's no concussions. Yes, that's a bold statement. Let me say it this way. When you take the volume of the brain of the bison, American bison, and you divide it by the whole head, you get a ratio. It's about 0.33. When you take the volume of the brain of the woodpecker and divide it by the whole head, it's about 0.33. When you take our brain with our head, it's about 0.6. But when you put the helmet on, guess what ratio it is? It's about 0.33. The reason I went down the road of creation is, as a Christian, I believe God engineered and designed everything. In Romans 1:20, when Paul wrote, and he says, we can understand God's character, his nature, and his attributes by the things he made. It's saying God, the creator and the engineer, revealed himself in the trees. He revealed parts of his character in the flowers. He revealed it in the lion. And he's trying to scream out to creation, look at these things, look how I engineered them, and it should all draw you to me. I hope that this football helmet can just be an example for others of how we can do science for Christ, do engineering for Christ, do entrepreneurship for Christ. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, it's the Creator that gives you the power to create wealth. And the idea of wealth is to serve others. I'm doing science related to a woodpecker god. I want to hear your thoughts about the woodpecker god. What are your thoughts about making a helmet safer? I want to hear you in my spirit. I want to help them play that game so they don't get hurt.
From faith to engineering, Dr. Horstemeyer's goal is to use what can be found in creation to design a safer experience for athletes everywhere.
Always fascinating to see what Dr. Horstemeyer is working on. All right, turning the page, Liberty field hockey alum Jill Bolton is one of the more decorated athletes in Liberty history, and she has the opportunity to add on to that. Just this past week, Bolton was nominated for the 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year. She's one of 30 nominees who compete in a sport that is not sponsored by the school's primary conference. Last month, Jill was honored as a top 12 finalist for the prestigious 2022 Collegiate Woman Athlete of the Year. She also won the 2022 Honda Sport Award for field hockey. Stay tuned to Flame Central to hear if Jill is named the 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year.
Well, some news coming out of Liberty softball as the coaching staff is getting a bit of a shakeup. Head coach Dot Richardson announcing that Casey Fagan has been promoted to associate head coach. Her sister Sammy has been elevated to an assistant coach position. And a familiar face, Emily Kirby, will join the staff as a volunteer assistant. Kirby just concluded her collegiate career this past spring.
Speaking of Emily Kirby, the two-time ASUN Pitcher of the Year didn't take the summer off after graduating from the Liberty program. As we reported here on Flame Central, she signed a professional contract. It was an opportunity that she didn't expect, but quickly realized God had planned for her.
When Liberty softball season came to an end in the NCAA regionals, senior pitcher Emily Kirby thought that may have been her final time in the circle.
I knew that softball was over for me at Liberty, and I did not think about the professional field at all, really. I didn't think that'd be an opportunity given to me.
She thought wrong.
Nice.
Ryan Moore, owner of the Florida Vibe, gave Emily a call in the days after her final game at LU with an offer to join his professional team.
He hit me with it, and I was like, whoa, like this is an unbelievable opportunity. The way he was talking is just like, the Holy Spirit's right here, like this, I think this is where I'm meant to be. And I didn't know that, I could see the Lord work through softball outside of Liberty. It's cool to think that everything was laid out and happened for a reason.
Now Emily is playing against the very best. In many cases, players she's long looked up to. And although there's been some butterflies along the way, she has proven to others and herself that she belongs.
It felt crazy at first, but now it's like, this feels normal, and it feels like, I don't know, that I'm supposed to be doing this.
Emily has earned her spot as a pro, and most importantly, she realizes that title comes with a platform that can be used for a bigger purpose.
I just remember being that little girl, watching these girls on TV or going to their games. Being that little girl and watching them, and now being that pro player and the little girls, just how they look at us and how they talk to us, and I can show them Christ and show them Jesus' love, and hopefully they say, well, what makes her different, Just the impact that we can make on them is amazing.
Still to come on Flame Central, the story of John Eubank and how he is the secret behind Liberty Equestrian.
Plus, we put some Liberty football players on the hot seat. That's when Flame Central returns.
To Shedlow, untouched. Goodness, what a sack. Says, boys, that's how we do it. 10, 5, right about. Yes, touchdown, Liberty.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories?
And the push to keep going either way. What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us. That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 450 online programs, 1 U, infinite possibilities.
Welcome back to the show. We head now to the horse barns. That's right. You may not know that Liberty University has a very successful equestrian program. And one of the people behind that success is John Eubank. His official title is farm manager, but in reality, he's part horse whisperer, part ranch hand, and all around humble servant.
Whenever I get up in the morning, I can go and look out the window and see the barn lights are on. I know that John's there.
I usually get here around between 5:30 and 6 in the mornings. My focus is to unlock, make sure all the horses are healthy and safe, had a good night. First of all, you glance and make sure that they drank water and they ate the hay, that they're not sickly or laid down. Sometimes they get cast or stuck in the stall, that they're healthy and up, and that's a good night for a horse.
It always blows my mind how much John actually does within the day. He, taking care of the horses, checking on everything, checking on our student workers, making sure that they're good. He also literally spreads manure all across this property, which doesn't sound like it's important, but when you have a growing manure pile, it is crucial to get that thing down. But he is so vital for what we do here.
The main thing that I do is I prepare the rings early in the morning, drag your indoor, outdoor ring, water them, get them prepared for the lessons, the rec lessons, the trail riding lessons, whatever these instructors deem to do for the day. Then I hit a crew up that gets here at 7 in the morning. Their job is pretty much make sure that the horses come in out of the fields, stalls are cleaned, horses are fed and watered. Another group of horses go out for the day, horses are groomed, and then it's off to the grounds, as far as whatever the day dictates, whether it's spreading manure or bush hogging or unloading hay or unloading grain or just, come on, buddy. Each day is a little different, Come on, kid. Come on, man. It makes your job easier when you're doing a job you like. I love the horses. They have a personality just like people, Some are a little bit more lovable than others. Some you trust a little bit more than others. But you come to know them, the personalities of them, the way they act.
I had an issue with one of the horses who was getting a little bit crazy, and he just came and kind of took the lead from me and was showing me how to calm him down and how to get him to keep going. Anytime we have the horse with a little bit of an attitude, he's always really good with getting there and getting their attitude fixed real quick.
He is such a calm presence. He's so reliable. The horses all like him because he feeds them. And he's just an amazing resource to have at the barn with his experience.
You got to watch a horse and read a horse, and after you fool with them long enough, you read them. I like to go in the stall, or when they come off a trailer, you know, let them smell you a little bit and ease up there, work slow to them and let them rub you and let them, you got to win them over and let them know that you're not going to hurt them. And you got to earn their confidence. And then the relationship grows. It's plenty of work around the farm. You just got to get at it and go at it and start over and do it again the next day. It's just like we did at home. It's always something to do. Come on, big guy. I try to set goals in the mornings. When I get up there to bed, my mind's running. I got goals set at home as well as I do on the job. Some days I meet them, some days I don't, and I try to set them high. But if I can come in and I get my work done, everybody's happy, a smile on everybody's face, the instructors, the directors, the kids have a good day, everybody stays on a horse. That's what it's all about.
Still to come, you know football season is nearly upon us when the hot seat makes its return. We ask Liberty players a hard-hitting question when Flame Central comes back.
Top of the circle, sends it down low, nice move, Gamer in front, scores! What a move! A snipe from the top of the circle, high on the glove side. Flames, a great shift here so far. Quickly fired ahead, down deep. Lobber after it, fires it around, and that's going to do it.
God's calling for your life can be specific. And at Liberty, we're committed to equipping you to pursue that calling. Choose from more than 300 residential programs of study, or design your own major through interdisciplinary studies, and be confident your major is the perfect fit. No matter how specific your calling, you'll find a program of study to match at Liberty University, and become your best as a champion for Christ.
Challenges, they're nothing new. At Liberty, we know they make you stronger, force you to learn, adapt, to overcome. When your next challenge comes, be ready. Meet it with a degree that propels you forward. We've helped champions like you succeed for 35 years and counting. And now, over 100,000 students are getting stronger every day. At Liberty University, challenges make champions. Let's overcome together.
Run coming off this one car. He wins it. Freaking driving, great team. William Byron has scored his third career win.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Flame Central. Our next segment is one I look forward to each and every football season. Emily does a great job of coming up with fun questions for what we call the hot seat.
Yeah, and this time we asked Liberty football players if they could go anywhere on a dream vacation, where would it be? And the answers didn't disappoint.
I would go to Costa Rica.
Probably the beach, maybe like Fiji.
Ooh.
Probably Heart Attack Grill.
I seen the movie Rio.
A lot of good food to be eaten there, and you know, if money's not an issue, why not?
Definitely Africa, Jerusalem. I like the animals, the birds.
Well, I always wanted to go to the moon.
Just because I've never been out of the country, and those are two places I think I could learn something and still actually enjoy myself there, see different beaches and different things in history. Bora Bora. Going to Bora Bora. Zip line. I'm afraid of heights, but I'll probably go skydiving. I don't care. I'm just going to jump off a cliff and like say.
I'm just relaxing. Probably stay in one of those little huts, you know, that go out in the water.
Land on the beach.
So I would try to get Elon Musk, you know, work out a deal. I know Elon Musk got the knowledge.
Oh, Dubai. Definitely Dubai.
We might get on jet skis. Just a lot of fun stuff. All the fun stuff we could do it.
Probably somewhere over in Europe, Italy maybe. Somewhere in the Caribbean, in one of those over-the-water little bungalows, and I'd stay there for a couple weeks and fish and just relax. Or fly fishing in Montana.
Riding jet skis, everything like that. Hopping on a boat, anything like that, but definitely Dubai.
Go to the moon, man, meet me some alien friends, probably an alien female, we could talk it up, you know what I'm saying? You know, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. The Rev has a good idea there. All right, where would you go?
I think I'd go to Iceland. They got the volcano there, lots of water around,
Wow.
real pretty.
Okay,
Yeah.
just send me to Italy, wherever the best food is. I don't care where, just where the best food, I'll go there.
Pizza every day.
Eat my way through.
I
That's
like
right.
it.
All right, hey, we're about out of time for this week. Gonna go grab a snack maybe. He's Rhett, I'm Matt. Don't forget LibertyFlamesCentral.com for any stories you may have missed. We'll see you right back here next week.
Your future career will ask you to analyze, assess, implement, react, make smart decisions in a split second. With the Liberty University degree, you'll be ready because your first day on the equipment comes long before your first day on the job. Get ready to take on tomorrow, today.